Hello, it's Miss Schuler with Shaketi Ed. Today I'm going to be reading Ada, Twist and the Perilous Pants. I'm going to be reading chapter 9 and chapter 12. So why? What is gravity? How does gravity work? Whoa. Okay. Ada didn't mean to upset Rosie. How could she explain? She thought for a moment. She tried a new approach. What happened when Uncle Fred let go of Uncle Ned's rope? Asked Ada. He floated away, said Iggy. Okay, but exactly, how did he do it? Asked Ada. Did he pop straight up? Did he hover over the ground? Did he bob up and down like a fishing float? Did he blow away in a straight line? Did he zig? Did he zag? I don't know, said Rosie. She was more upset than ever. Ada gave her friend a hug and smiled. Just tell me what you saw, said Ada kindly. Exactly what did you observe? If we think like scientists, we'll figure out which way he went. Then we'll find Uncle Ned and rescue him. We won't give up. Rosie said, Iggy, you always tell us not to give up, remember? Rosie smiled and took a deep breath to calm herself. Stop and think, she said. It was the advice that Aunt Rose often gave her. It helped her focus when she had a problem to solve. Okay, said Rosie. The first thing that happened was Uncle Fred let go of the rope. Then Uncle Ned popped straight up into the air, said Iggy. How far? Asked Ada. Twice as high as our roof, said Rosie. Then he stopped. Yay, said Ada. That's good news. Uncle Ned didn't think so, said Iggy. It's great news, said Ada. I'll show you. Ada sketched another picture, and it showed Uncle Ned in the air with lots of arrows going this way and around him. Each arrow shows a force, said Ada. A force is how energy acts on an object. Forces can come from all directions. And look at this. Look at the picture. Look at how the forces move in all directions. For example, Uncle Ned is the object and the forces are the air pushing down on him from above and gravity pulling him toward the center of the earth. But the air that he's floating on is a force pushing up, said Iggy. It's like a boat on water. Yes, said Ada. Those arrows pointing up show buoyancy, and there's the lift and the lift of the helium as it rises. As it tries to rise above the heavier air, said Rosie. So the pants won't go up, 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 said Ada, but the other forces keep him down. We will find Uncle Ned where the forces balance right now. Where the forces balance. Right now, that's twice as high as Rosie's roof. That's a long way from space, said Rosie. She sounded calmer. It sure is, said Ada. Okay, said Iggy, what about the wind? It's a force pushing him from the side. If Uncle Ned is going with the wind, said Ada, let's follow the wind. Look at that. So now I'm on chapter 10. Chapter 10. Things to do today. It says, find out what is air currents, warm air, cloud, what is airflow in the earth. Chapter 10. Ada scraped a small handful of fine dust from the ground. She held out her hand and dumped the dust. The heavy bits fell straight down, but the finest dust blew toward Blue River Creek. Ada took her compass from her pocket. She always has one handy. The compass needle pointed north. The friends ran north with any luck. Uncle Ned's rope was snagged on one of the tall trees that lined the river. Then they could figure out how to get him down. The questionnaires ran past the school and the library. They were passing the city hall when Ada screeched to a stop. Whoa! Iggy and Rosie crashed into Ada. The three friends tumbled into a heap. Ouch, said Rosie. Why did you stop? Asked Iggy. Look at the weather vane, said Ada. Rosie and Iggy looked at the copper weather vane at the top of the city hall. The arrow pointed toward the river. We're going that way. We're going that way, said Rosie. That's the problem, said Ada. Ada, weather vanes are shaped like wedges, so they always point where the wind is coming from. That means the wind is blowing south, said Iggy, but the dust blew north. The dust is close to the ground, said Ada. Ah, Uncle Ned is high in the air like the weather vane. Iggy looked confused. Air flows in currents like water in the ocean, said Ada. There can be currents that go different directions, so the air down low can blow a different way than the air up high. What if Uncle Ned already blew out of the town? Asked Rosie. What if we never find him? Suddenly, a red fire truck swooped around the corner and zoomed down the street. Honk honk, woo woo woo, honk honk. I think someone just did, said Iggy. A short zebra-striped bus also rounded the corner and stopped in front of the kids. It was Uncle Fred in the zoo bus. Hop in, he said. We found Uncle Ned. And here we go for chapter 11. So, are snakes ticklish? And then the snakes. Rosie's Uncle Fred. Uncle Fred likes snakes very much. Snakes like Uncle Fred very much. Uncle Fred hit the gas. They zoomed after the fire truck, which turned another corner and stopped behind the old Jeep factory. Bee and Bo from Blue River Creek's volunteer fire department jumped out of the fire truck. Rosie asked Ada, Iggy, and Uncle Fred tumbled out of the bus. It was the factory where Rosie's neighbor, Miss Lou, built Jeeps during the World War II. The factory had been closed for years, and most of the building was gone. Only 3 tall walls were left standing. They made a courtyard shaped like the letter U. The ground at the center was a small, empty parking lot covered with black asphalt. The blazing sun beat down on the hot, oily surface, and smell of tar filled the air. It was a stinky, big smell that Ada did not like. Uncle Ned was trapped in the air current that slowly roared around inside the U-shaped area. The whirlwind picked up bits of dust and small leaves and lazily whirled them around and around, high in the air with Uncle Ned. It's like a river, said Iggy, where the water gets stuck by rocks and swirls around and round. I think they call that an eddy, said Rosie. But how long can a whirlwind stay that way? Bay and Bo stretched out the fire truck's ladder. Rosie knew Bay and Bo because they were also the recyclers in the Blue River Creek. They often left her boxes of recycled materials for her inventions. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Ada. Hi, Iggy. They called. Let's look at the pictures. So here's Uncle Ned, and he's stuck inside of there.
Can she?
Yes, you can. And then here is Bay and Bo. I keep calling it Bay and Bo. Oh my God, y'all! My reading
Bay
today.
and Bo, be your Bo.
Yeah, today my reading is just like not there. Okay. Uncle Ned was trapped in the whirlwind near the top of the wall. He was too far from the wall to grab the bricks, and he was too far up to be reached by the ladder. Hi, Ned, yelled Bee. Give us a minute and we'll get you down. Anytime now, Bee, said Uncle Ned as he whirled around and around. I'm getting dizzy, Izzy. Woo-hoo! Bo climbed to the top of the fire ladder and reached for the rope hanging from Uncle Ned's perilous pants. It dangled just out of Bo's grasp. Our ladder is too short, yelled Bo. Can you float lower? No! Whoa! Cried Ned. I'm stuck. Bee stretched out the thick white fire hose. I'll squirt you down with the hose, she yelled. No, said Rosie. If he breaks out of this eddy, he'll get pulled into the crosswind and float away. Ada looked carefully at the walls. The whirlwind kept Ned swirling in one spot. Iggy was right. It was like an eddy in a river, but Rosie was also right. If anything changed, Uncle Ned could fly away again. A squirt with the hose would be a disaster. Word spread throughout Blue River Creek about Uncle Ned's perilous pants. Soon a crowd gathered and watched. They cheered for the firefighters and the questionnaires and tried to keep Ned calm by singing songs and telling him jokes. The jokes are a bad idea. Every time he started to laugh, his pants jiggled and he wobbled in the whirlwind. One big laugh might send him flying. Now that's a picture, said Barb Ross from the Happy Sapling art store. She pulled out a sketch pad and started to draw. Does he have a permit for that? Asked the mayor. What if we train an eagle to pop those perilous pants? Someone asked Uncle Fred, see? The crowd liked that idea that clapped. they clapped. The crowd liked their idea and clapped. Unfortunately, the eagle was still at the zoo. Meanwhile, 3 monkeys, 4 lemurs, and an ostrich ran in and out of the growing crowd while Uncle Fred tried to catch them. A reporter from the Blue River Reader interviewed Uncle Ned and snapped some photos for the evening edition. It was very exciting, but as everyone focused on Ned and his perilous pants, Ada Twist stood to the side, tapping her chin. She was thinking. Her mind was swirling with questions. Uncle Ned floated at exactly that height because of all the forces pulling him down and pushing him up. Could they change the forces to make Uncle Ned float lower so the firefighters could grab him? Could they weigh Uncle Ned down? Could the monkeys help? Could they really train an eagle to pop the pans? Would that make Uncle Ned zoom through the sky like a balloon losing its air? What if Uncle Ned hit something? Would he bounce? The sun beat down on Ada, and the stink of the asphalt rose up from the parking lot. It was a toe-curling, stinky smell that made Ada feel a little woozy. She shook her head to think. She tapped her chin again and scribbled notes. The hum of the crowd faded. There were so many questions to answer, so much to figure out. To Ada, the whole world felt like a big cartoon bubble filled with question marks. She flipped through her notebook and looked at the pictures she had drawn for Rosie. All the forces working on Uncle Ned's perilous pants kept him in one spot. If any other forces changed, Uncle Ned would move. The trick was making him move in the right direction. Just like adding cargo to a ship changes how high it floats in the water, maybe they could change the way Uncle Ned floats in the air. But how could they add cargo to his pants? And what would the cargo be? How could they get anything to Uncle Ned when they couldn't even reach him? Suddenly, Ada had an idea. She popped out of her thought bubble and looked around. Rosie and Iggy were smiling at her. "You have an idea," said Rosie, who knew that look on Ada's face. "How do we help?" asked Iggy. Ada scribbled down some notes and showed them to her friends. Iggy and Rosie nodded. Rosie ran to Uncle Fred and whispered something in his ear. He nodded too. "We'll keep track of Uncle Ned in case he flies off again," said Iggy and Rosie. Ada stopped her pencil behind her ear. She stuck her notebook in her pocket. "Don't worry, Uncle Ned," she yelled. "We'll get you down. Can you make it so soon?" he yelled back. "I think that crow is coming back." Rosie pointed to a distant, dark cloud on the horizon. That's not all that's on its way," she said in a worried voice. "I don't think we have a lot of time before the wind changes. Hurry." Ada nodded. She jumped into the zoo bus, and once more Uncle Fred hit the gas. They were off. Okay, that's it for today. Chapters 9 through 12, Ada Twist and the Perilous Plans, with the questionnaires. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Was that good?
Yeah, so.